what I'm most looking forward to during this trip is to connect with my teammates. I'm looking forward to getting to know them better, learning more about myself. I know from last year's experience, I learned a whole lot about myself, and I was definitely encouraged.
What I'm expecting from the trip to El Salvador is just to get the flavor of the culture. And being Latina myself, Mexican American, I want to compare cultures to see like what are the differences and what are similarities.
I'm expecting a completely different world from what I'm used to, a different culture. I know that I'm taking an intercultural communications class right now, and I just comparing their culture to my culture, I know it's completely different in the way they act. So I'm expecting to see that and try and look for those things.
My expectations are just taking everything that we've learned within the cohort and applying it while we're in El Salvador and actually seeing the lifestyle that they live.
I would say just becoming more culturally diverse and building up my leadership skills while down there.
I'm really expecting that we are going to experience a lot of growth for our cohort and for the people that we're there to see and interact with.
I expect to meet new people, get to know the country, just going in there with open mind and trying to take everything in.
I want to learn new experiences, and I want to see different culture. I'm hoping to feel somewhat welcomed to El Salvador, and my whole experience with this is actually feel a new experience.
My expectations are kind of to look at the culture and understand how the people think, and maybe understanding like the culture and how it's affected the choices that they've made, and just like having that interpretation.
My expectations to El Salvador is to learn their culture and the way how they live their life there.
I think my biggest challenge while I'm in El Salvador will be to just relax and enjoy the day-to-day, the small details, the simple things, because I feel like I sometimes get really caught up in wanting to do everything, and I can sometimes be overwhelmed.
The biggest challenge would be not adjusting to having everything that we have here in America.
My biggest challenge, or the most obvious for me, is the language barrier, because I speak English, not Spanish. I know a little bit of Spanish, but not enough to have a conversation with anybody. So I think that'll be my biggest hurdle.
Even though I am in my second quarter of Spanish, I think that definitely the language barrier is going to be something that I could work on and will be kind of a barrier for me.
It's the culture shock of being in a whole different country and just learning and adapting to new people, a new way of life.
Culture's a funny area, and it's something we often don't want to talk about, mainly because we often are uncomfortable with the subject, especially from a standpoint that we all have our inherent biases. And so I think for me it's going to be accepting that I have to disregard some of those biases and allow myself to grow, which is hard for, I think, anybody.
My biggest challenge would probably be the language barrier, and also going to a place I have no idea what's going to be there, what I'm going to see, just the unknown in general.
I think my biggest challenge is my Spanish. I mean, I'm pretty good at it, but I'm a little rusty.
I think it will be communication. I do not speak Espanol very good, and it will just trying to communicate with like the local people and understanding them, and just trying to understand what they're saying.
My biggest challenge going to El Salvador is probably talking to locals there.
Honestly, I am so excited for the waterfall.
I am looking forward to the second day, which we go to La Divina Providencia, and it's where the Archbishop Romero was. He helped a lot with in El Salvador.
I am looking forward to working with the 2- and 3-year-olds because I am striving to be a second grade teacher, so I want to work with children, so that'll be a plus for me.
I'm looking forward to working with the students down there. I think it's going to be fun, it's going to be challenging, just communication-wise.
I am I want to work with the kids. And so the ability to interact with students and to help them grow as much as they can. I know they're going to help me grow in so many ways. We are able to teach them sports. I think it's a great way to connect with kids. We teach curriculum and everything in classrooms, but sports is an avenue where we can teach values.
I'm looking forward to day 6, which we will be introduced to several families there in the community, and we'll get to interact with them and really talk to the local people one-on-one and kind of gain some perspectives.
To be honest, I'm actually looking forward to the beach day because I've never been to a beach, and I think if my first time to a beach is a different country, that's pretty awesome.
I am really excited to see Bishop Chapo Romero's church and where he died, and in honoring him and respecting him, and that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Looking forward to the day where we work with the little kids and do activities with them.
Ecstatic.
Privileged.
Excited.
Excited.
Rewarding.
I'm nervous.
Scared.
Nervous.
Anxious.